Let's react to Ref says Desu. Meow. What's going on? We got Nijisanji, Global, the English one. They released a statement. It was coherent, it was short, and it was inconclusive. Then I saw the accusations from the other side, and these are quite something. Pretty wild and probably true. Because you don't release a short and inconclusive statement like that when the accusations that are being charged are that. Like, you think they're panicking? Maybe they should opt for just being very, very honest now, because I could see a world in which management is unfit for the job, which is kind of evidenced by the statement they put out. There could be a case that they didn't even know what's going on with their talent, and they were just like giving her the stick, and that's it, because they had nothing else to do. They are not actually equipped to do anything at all to manage their talents. That could be a case, you know. That would be the good case for Nijisanji, as far as I can tell. Well, let's react to this Ref says Desu take on the situation. By the way, today, first day I heard of this whole situation, so that maybe they know more than I do. Let's see.
Hey, what's up guys, Rep here. So I've been covering VTuber related news for several years now, including many Nijisanji related controversies, but none of these stories hold up to the explosive details of today's story. So for over a month, concerned fans have been asking Nijisanji management a very simple question.
It is short and insufficient.
Well, we finally got an answer. They have officially terminated their contract with Selen. No graduation stream. All of her accounts have been wiped of content and privated. It is completely over. She has moved on. She is terminated from this company. Now, I want to give you a bit of a roadmap for this video. We're going to start off by reading this document released by Nijisanji management.
Oh, that's convenient, because I was about to tell you to read it for yourself. Yes.
It is 3 pages of yapping where they're going to do their best to try to throw Selen under the bus and show that they have
yapping, that's a word. Maybe I should use it.
No respect or appreciation for her hard work with the company, and they have no respect for her mental health and well-being. And then we're going to compare.
I don't know what that means, but I do know that arguments were not substantiated. The statement, it does two things. It takes for granted that any reference to intellectual property is a good thing somehow. Any invocation of that is somehow good. And also, of course, the authority of the company. Those were the two main arguments I found.
All that to statements she has made on an account that is now confirmed to be her personal account, where she shares more details about the situation and also shares the reason for her hospitalization back in December. That was the result of Selen attempting to take her own life. And part of the reason she cites for that is bullying from within and a toxic work environment that she was subjected to for months. So obviously a lot of very serious stuff to talk about, but let's begin with the document itself. So it begins by saying, we sincerely appreciate your ongoing support of Nijisanji and Nijisanji EN.
By the way, the statement from Nijisanji, these 3 pages, don't actually substantiate on that. It's like you read it and you don't actually know what's going on. I mean, when it substantiates some more, if you're actually in the right somehow. Like, if the reality is in your favor, just spell it out.
Regret that we had to make the difficult decision to terminate our affiliation contract with the Nijisanji EN Library Selen Tatsuki due to multiple...
This is PR speak nobody cares about.
...breaches of contract and misleading statements on social media platforms.
Again, same thing. You need examples. You need to substantiate. Like, there's the person who's just a VTuber and they don't really have the legalistic brain I or may not have. So they need coaching. And then Nijisanji, they need a process to coach their talent and, you know, to support them in more than just that way. But still, that is important. So when Nijisanji says that, now you're going to talk about your process of coaching so the talent can protect the rules you set out. And a warning is not good enough, because that's not a durable process at all. And repeat warnings are also, you know, they tend to lead to hostility. So at the very least, you want to see Nijisanji to say sorry to the talent, because clearly it came to be that there has to be a warning. They didn't have a process in place to prevent that. Unless they have a process and they can point to it. Like, here's our guidance, our coaching, how we proactively approach this. So the rules we set out that are not intuitive, because I don't think IP laws that they invoke here are intuitive at all. So they should line out their process, and then they don't. That's what I mean with short and inconclusive.
Platforms. For transparency, we have provided a detailed explanation of the circumstances and reasons that have unfortunately led us to this decision below.
Wait. I skipped the part where they said detail.
Now, they cite the actual rule here. It's talking about things that might violate the rights of Nijisanji and their affiliates. It might cause damage to their reputation and things like that. It's just typical legal jargon. You can read it for yourself. But down here, they have the actual violation.
PR is supposed to win the hearts and minds of the reader. Legal is supposed to win the hearts and the minds of the legalistic mind. You know what I mean? And so for me, you can couch it as a legal statement, but it really isn't, because it's really not clear. It doesn't convey any evidence. Like, yes, it's legal speak because they want to reduce their liability, maybe, but it's not even all that adequate here. So again, it seems like they're spinning at the wheel, kind of panicky. And so on some level, I even want to be like, okay, so maybe they just need to hire more people and install a process so this stuff doesn't happen again. And they're actually all like kind of decent people, all the people involved. I'm not saying that's how it is, but this deficiency in process makes me think that it should just come clear with having a dysfunctional management structure, if that's the case.
They're reporting from Selen Tatsuki. Let's read through these. So, despite our efforts to uphold these rules, Selen Tatsuki has repeatedly violated the activity rules since joining Nijisanji EN in July of 2021. Selen Tatsuki's actions in violation of activity rules encompass a wide range of issues, such as non-compliance with rights confirmation and authorization flows, which
the IP law. It's like IP law and we have processes. So where is your process to coach your talent to stick to the process and the IP law?
could potentially lead to infringement of third-party rights, including copyrights. The violations also include
it could lead to infringement of copyright laws. It's like, dude, nobody likes copyright, I like to think. I also like to hold myself to a higher standard and entertain the possibility that maybe some people really like copyright law the way it's done, but, you know, I don't think so, but maybe it's possible.
Authorized usage of works and assets belonging to others affiliated with any color, disregarding the intentions of these parties, as well as lack of communication with creators.
And also, this sentence really confused me because, like, okay, so it's company internal IP. So what's the problem? Like, why do you tell us this? It is your IP. You say it could infringe on IP law, but it's yours. Like, that's contradictory. It's just what? It just makes me think they're spinning at the wheel and they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're saying. Like, this is neither useful to them, nor is it showing anything besides they don't know what they're doing. What can you do with this? She's using other talent stuff without their permission, but it actually belongs to the company, and she uses it without going through the process for releases. It's like, what does this mean? What are you trying to tell us? What is she doing to your other talents? Can you substantiate that? What is it that she's doing to your other talent? So you have a process, I understand, but I don't understand the significance in this context at all, because it's not explained.
Resulting in delays in Selen Tatsuki's commission payments to creators. Furthermore, there have been ongoing reports about inappropriate behavior by Selen Tatsuki throughout her time as a Nijisanji EN liver. We have been addressing these concerns as they arise. As a company, we recognize...
Address concerns as they arise? They have done that? Okay, they say that here, but it's not a very complete or useful statement if you don't reiterate there, right? Like I'm not gonna go dig through this, so it's on Nijisanji who wanna look good here. It's their PR statement to reiterate in this document right there, because people, you know, on Twitter, they're gonna read the 3 pages and be like, this is a short and insufficient document. Excuse me.
That these violations of activity rules could damage the trust placed in Nijisanji EN. We are also aware that such violations jeopardize the ongoing activities of other livers affiliated with any color. Furthermore,
this is potentially causing us damage. It's like, okay, yes, that's why you fired her. Oh my god. I mean, just say that she might cause us damages. I mean, are you gonna sue her, by the way? I do wonder.
Consistently issued
I
warnings.
mean, I doubt it. Again, this seems like panic.
To Selen each time there was a violation of activity rules. However, she repeatedly disregarded these warnings, often failing to reciprocate communication with her managers. Additionally, Selen has repeatedly posted false or misleading information on social media, insinuating that the violations of the activity rules were due to mismanagement by any color. In May 2023,
I mean, they say that, but they don't substantiate, so it's like a bit of an L for Nijisanji.
We sent a notice to Selen Tatsuki stating that any further violation of activity rules or engaging in false or misleading statements that could damage our company's reputation would result in the termination of our affiliation contract. However, she has continued to violate the activity rule.
You don't need to tell me why you terminated her. Again, this is a PR statement. They write to get like a good perception from the people who don't know what this is about. Never heard of this idol VTuber person, right? Like first time I hear of this person, I was like, okay, so I like assessing legalistic sounding documents or PR statements and whatnot. And I just put my legalistic mind to good work, and this is just like, okay, being kind of sorry for this company that they don't have people who can write a good PR statement, I guess.
Now, the next section is the events leading to the suspension of Selen Tatsuki's activities, which of course would not be announced publicly, but here we are. So amidst the aforementioned circumstances, on December 26, 2023, Selen posted a music video on her channel without prior approval, as required by the activity rules. The materials
thing with the video
shared for the first time with our management on December 24th, since some elements in the music video lacked proper authorization. On December 25th, we communicated with Selen that permission needed to be obtained from relevant parties requesting her to wait before releasing it. Despite this, she disregarded the notice and proceeded with unauthorized posting. Our immediate response was to make the music video private until all authorizations were confirmed from our end. At the same time, the reasoning was clearly explained to Selen. However,
so was there an actual problem with authorization? Not really substantiate. Why not? What's the problem? You gotta give us some, like, you know, I understand that not respecting the process is a problem in its own right if the process is fit for purpose anyway. Which, hey, maybe it could be, yes. It's not really talking about that. It's not really talking about the actual specifics of the case. It's like, okay, what?
she took to social media making misleading statements that omitted essential context, notably.
By the way, essential context and misleading statements is like, it doesn't mean anything. This whole series of 3 short pages that are insubstantial could also be construed as misleading or whatever. It doesn't actually matter in the PR environment they're choosing to be in with this statement. So, I mean, I'm just, you know, I do worry about those people. Who's running the show? Why don't you have competent people for this? It shouldn't be hard. Hello? Every other sentence they fall on their noses. It's like, it makes me feel sorry for them. Even though looking at what seems plausible, they deserve very little in terms of sympathy. Probably. But then again, it's just so clumsy.
Management has privated the song. Furthermore, Selen Tatsuki's post included a statement encouraging third parties to re-upload the music video, which breaches any color's guidelines for.
This is where we have the thing with IP law. Third parties posting things as IP law has it may imply that the third parties actually own it. That's the way fair use works. If you get away with it and the company don't go after you, the company actually loses the IP right. There is a real serious business element to this. On third-party channels is clearly not okay, but at the same time, I don't give a fuck. Normal people don't give a fuck. And so this is the company understanding the law better than the average person. And of course they do. And of course they have to do something here, but this is not good optics. Yes, you can say that she's in the wrong legally. She's causing trouble. It's just, you don't get sympathy for that. So as a PR statement, you have to look at this as a PR statement, and it just makes me be like, you guys are not doing good with this statement. This is miserable.
Secondary creation. These actions led to various misunderstandings that damaged the reputation of both Anycolor and Nijisanji En. In an effort to calm the situation, we sought to either publicly disclose the reasons for making the music video private, or have Selen Tatsuki disclose.
By the way, this part about causing confusion or whatever, I mean, it's still a you problem that you didn't do the coaching, the process. Where is it? Tell me about the coaching you do with your talent. Like, nobody knows, nobody cares about that. Yes, you could lose the IP if third parties just rampantly post your thing and they get away with it. Like, dude, this is not intuitive.
Them herself. While being mindful of Selen's physical and mental health, management did their best to communicate with not only Selen herself, but also her
But how did they do their best? Substantiate.
Emergency contact. However, despite frequent communication with Selen's
I can tell you, I'm a nice guy, okay? That doesn't make me a nice guy. I might actually be a nice guy, though. But you see the problem between a claim and a substantiation? Like, you can assert something, but that doesn't make it true. You want, like, an actual explanation or further elaboration. What are the facts on the ground? Anyway.
Emergency contact. While remaining considerate of her situation, we were unable to come to an agreement on how to proceed. The decision was made to temporarily remove her access to accounts on various social media platforms and video.
I mean, I guess they just give us an account, right? I mean, they did do it. They're not trying to justify it there, right? They're just being like, okay, so we did do that after that. It's just a factual. That's kind of confusing me, because you sometimes, even if it's just 3 pages, it doesn't have to mean anything, right? Even though it's a PR statement, so. That caught me by surprise.
Distribution services under the name Selen Tatsuki. Now we're here at the termination of affiliation contract. After attempting to address the affirmation situation and communicating with the legal counsel representing Selen Tatsuki, we conveyed the necessity for Selen to inform the public about the reasons behind her decision to make her music video private.
Wait.
For Selen counsel representing Selen Tatsuki, we conveyed the affirmation situation and communicating with the legal counsel representing Selen Tatsuki, we conveyed the necessity for Selen to inform the public about the reasons behind her decision to make
Wait, Selen had the necessity for Selen. They conveyed the necessity for Selen to communicate. Okay, so they ordered her. Wait, no, they didn't. Technically, they did. From this statement, they could have just told her that the stars have aligned and now you must say things on our behalf. But it is not in order. That's a weird ass wording there. They conveyed the necessity, which, again, they probably told her to. They probably ordered her to, but that's not what that says. Why is that? I don't know. Let's move on.
Make her music video private. Additionally, we expressed to Selen our expectations for future compliance with the activity rules from here on. Despite
They're probably trying to establish that they have a process which involves reprimanding people so that they behave better going forward. Which goes back to my initial criticism of, okay, you need a more proactive process of coaching your talent to be able to do the PR game with the interest of the company in mind. Which is still not established. It's all very reactive, which is not a good look for the company. Creates hostility if you just do everything reactively. Like, don't expect people to know what you want them to do unless you tell them first. I do expect an apology from Nijisanji here. Just from what Nijisanji is putting out here on the point of decent working relations. Where is the coaching? Where is the process that is proactive? You don't have to call it coaching, but okay, so you reprimand her and it's like, okay, no. What is this?
her efforts, Selen demanded that any color should be held legally responsible. She claimed that she was no longer able to engage in her activities as a liver due to the decisions made by any color, was being harassed by other affiliated livers due to management while refusing to acknowledge her responsibility for violating the activity rules. Moreover, Selen Tatsuki...
I mean, again, okay, so how did she refuse to? How do you know that? How do you know that in her heart of hearts she's not feeling the responsibility for this to the extent that she's responsible? Like, you don't know that unless you tell us that there was a written or oral statement that she is, in her heart of hearts, not feeling responsible for any grief caused to the company. It's like, dude, we don't actually have an account of it in these 3 short pages.
Insisted that if the negotiations did not progress, she would proceed to release...
Which again, points to panic more than malice in my book, but I don't know.
A statement regarding her claims to the public. And here's the final page. It says, any color believes that the claims raised by Selen are in fact referring to situations that arose when she was warned about her breaches of the activity rules and attempts to shift responsibility for these violations, damaging any color and Nijisanji Ian's image. This led to the deterioration of the relationship between her, any color, and other livers affiliated with any color. Any color firmly believes that we and the other livers under our affiliation have not engaged in unjust practices towards Selen Tatsuki. Considering the irreparable damage to our company's reputation and threat to ongoing activities of other affiliated livers, we regrettably concluded that termination of our affiliation contract with Selen Tatsuki was unavoidable.
They do a lot of asserting here. Striking evidence that they hold back, they don't tell you about. If you're gonna have such a strong case, like, why you tell this to us without presenting the evidence? Like, what are you holding back and why? What is this?
And they go on basically to thank her for all of her time in Nijisanji and the, mountain of work that she did, not only as a library...
I mean, they're just nice people, because they do thank her, right? I mean, again, quite a bit of this sounds like panic to me, so maybe they really do feel like they appreciate her for her performance and so on in the company, and this is quite regrettable to them too. Don't forget that side of it. Although, again, it's all speculation in a way. Nijisanji can, they can do something here, which is come forward with having crappy management and no process. And that could be like, maybe that's true, and if so, they should probably come forward with that. And a big apology. Anyway.
But really a leader within this company. But yeah, you get the point, and they announce also that they're taking down her videos. But that is the important parts of the statement, the actual technical language here. Now you can see
who's a leader in the company?
The mountain of work that she did, not only as a liver, but really a leader within this company. But
Selen was a leader in the company. What? Interesting. Again, first time I hear of this person today, so that would point again to a rather problematic management in this company.
Yeah, you get the point, and they announce also that they're taking down her videos, but that is the important parts of the statement, the actual technical language here. Now, you can see here that her videos are in fact gone. Luckily though, there's archives out there they can easily find, and also her Twitter account is now private. So Selen Tatsuki, the account affiliated with Nijisanji, is finished. It is over, that is very much clear. However, it is very clear that the talent behind Selen Tatsuki is not gone, because we now can confirm that this account here, Doki, is the personal and past life account affiliated with the talent who is behind Selen Tatsuki. And looking through the tweets from the past month or so, we can get some additional insights as to her disappearance on her Selen account, and also get the very disturbing details as to how far this affected her personally. Now, let's go back and remind her.
It is quite creepy that you can lose your identity when you exit a company. That is quite creepy.
Ourselves how we got here, so we can start filling in some gaps that we couldn't before. So back on Christmas Day in 2023, Selen released a music video and cover that was clearly a project that was very important to her. She spent a lot of time, and as we'll find out, a lot of money on this project. She released it on Christmas Day as a gift to her community, and she even live streamed shortly after its release to have a celebration party about it. However, we all know what happened only a few hours later. She made this tweet saying that management has privated the song, and she encouraged her followers to re-upload the video wherever they see fit. And that, to me and many others, signified that there was something very serious going on here, and that this video was likely to never come back, which obviously it didn't. But now we know from...
Wait, it didn't? So the company, are you telling me the company spends all this time and effort to talk about how there may be problems with company internal concerns about IP law, which makes no sense. And then maybe there's some other concerns, and they still haven't managed to release the video. What? What are you doing? It's a bad look. Just put it out there. If you can put it out, then put it out there. It's a sign of goodwill. What are you doing? What in the world? I mean, to be fair, it's hard to communicate that when you have a situation on your hands. So maybe that is... I could see why that explains why they haven't released it yet. I don't want to hold that against them. It's just... get to the vetting of the video and... yeah, like... maybe figure out a way to release it. Although now she's out of the company, so that's... I guess they were planning for letting her go in the first place, and then there would be problems with releasing the video after she's gone, given she may have... apparently she put $15,000 into that. What? How does that even happen?
On this personal account, that this video cost $15,000 out of her pocket. This was out of her pocket, not the management.
Like, how does that happen?
This was $15,000 of her own money she spent on this video that would be privated only hours after it was released. And you can see this tweet was made on Christmas Day, right at the time the video was privated. So going forward, only 2 days later, on December 27th, we all know what happened. She apologized to her community for silence because after the video was private, she didn't say anything for 2 days, and she clarifies that she had been in the hospital after an accident and was under supervision and just got access to her phone. Now, looking at her personal account, we can find out the reason she was in the hospital, and it is a very sad reason. And it confirms a lot of the major concerns people had. So she said this on February 5th, the time of recording this video: "I will not be silenced anymore. On December, I was hospitalized for an attempt that was caused by built-up bullying from within and being in a toxic and poor environment for numerous months that led to my breaking point. I requested to leave first, but on more neutral terms on January 26th, referring to Nijisanji, of course. So this confirms, like I said, some of the biggest concerns people had about her sudden absence, and we can see more proof of her hospital release on December 31st. This was posted on the personal account, and then you can see on the Selen account on December 31st, we got the tweet saying that she was discharged from the hospital. Now, there was some people out there saying that based on the wording and how this is phrased, it didn't sound like Selen was making this tweet, and we don't know unless she actually confirms on her personal account, but many people are now looking at the series of events, especially in the Nijisanji statement, and they're thinking that it was management that made this tweet, basically to douse some of the concerns of people and basically do some damage control, because people were really concerned about...
Just a side note, vitamin D is pretty good, and the recommendations are like a tenth of what you should be getting potentially, or a fifth. Of course, it doesn't substitute for toxic work environment. It's still something to consider. We're all indoor cats here. Do look into vitamin D. It's actually universally important in the body, pretty much.
Where she was, because it sounds like at this point, she had lost access to her accounts affiliated with Selen. So that is definitely a speculation that has some merit. But moving forward, I just want to take a moment to point out some of the really bad outcomes of this whole process, where only a few days ago, there was a hashtag going around that was hashtag #WhereIsSelen. And a lot of people were sharing this, and this was something I covered in a video, but a lot of people were criticizing this. A lot of people were making fun of this hashtag, people saying this is ridiculous, and that they're being dramatic, and that anyone using this is an idiot, and so on and so forth. Well, those people look pretty stupid now, don't they?
I mean, I could say a lot of things about a lot of people looking pretty stupid, but it's definitely petty to to try to police who can say what on Twitter. That is fair point.
This was exactly what people were so concerned about. There was some major, bad, and toxic things going on behind the scenes that deeply affected her time while she was performing as Selen. And that is something that's been reflected in her personal account. And people who have been mocking this hashtag and people concerned about her well-being, yeah, you look pretty stupid right now.
To be fair, also, it is a courtesy of the platform to attract all kinds of flame and flame bait sort of esque behavior. So, I'm not a fan. My outrage doesn't come cheap.
But as she goes on her personal account in the past couple of hours, she has been tweeting about the future and talking about how she wants to view everything that's happened and what she's doing next. So she made this tweet earlier saying, "I am still me. Every memory and achievement I've earned is still me. They cannot take that away. Please let everyone know that this is where I am now. I hope you all find me again and we can laugh together again." And then she shared this voice tweet, and it's captioned, "My last tweet today before I finally head to bed. Thank you, everyone. I'm just happy to finally be able to speak again. Thank you to everyone that still supported me and the love you all gave me the last couple of hours. I'm happy to have you all in my community." Now let's listen to this voice tweet. It's about 2 minutes.
And yeah, good for her. It's like, that's a pretty good result. Glad she be with us and gonna be probably quite a successful VTuber out there. I haven't actually listened to this yet because, yeah, it is what I thought it would be, and so there's a limitation to the use there is in me listening to this.
And as discussed in that voice tweet, she is making a return. You can see this post made only hours ago.
I mean, good for her.
Her official return to this account, and she'll be once again streaming on this Doki account. Very exciting stuff. Definitely check it out. I will leave a link to her Twitter account in the description. Go over there.
With regard to that voice message, it does feel quite voyeuristic. Let's put it that way. So I don't like that.
Give it a follow her other social medias, and get ready because I think she's going to be exploding over the next couple of months. She is going to have a very
good for her
career because she's not only someone that is deeply beloved by her fans and respected by the VTubing scene, she is someone who is very capable, not just a great entertainer, but she is someone who carried the responsibilities of Nijisanji management. She was the one who was setting up international tournaments on her own. She was the one paying out of pocket to support artists who were involved in art competitions.
This is what I was wondering. Like, what did she do? Like, what is this company doing actually? And that's some pretty real stuff. Like organizing events, and then the legal team or the PR team isn't even able to put something together that's like at all competent from my perspective anyway. How did she get into a situation to get bullied though? What's going on there? Sometimes when you're punching above your weight or carrying more weight than other people, it does create resentment. Maybe that's part of it.
For her own VTuber design. She was the one paying out of pocket for these music videos and doing all these things that management should have been doing, or at least encouraging, but instead stood in her way and made her life difficult. This has been a very toxic situation, and I'm glad that she is free, and we can look around and see posts like this. There is a wave happening, ladies and gentlemen. There is a surge where, right now, with Selen's termination, every Nijisanji EN generation has lost at least one member.
Whoa, that's wild. The more I think about it, the more I feel like there's some coaching problem. Also, I do recall it wasn't actually like one of the VTubers was saying stuff that was just like not very appropriate. And there's oftentimes something to the thing. Sometimes there's not, but so again, it comes back to you need a process. When you have a process, you can also have disciplinary measures that actually work, that are actually credible. So when you say you do this because somebody did something that's actually inappropriate, for example, that could happen, then you want a process in place so that after some serious period of repercussions, there could be a resumption of things. You know what I mean? Anyway, with full pay, of course. Like, I'm not saying people shouldn't get paid. It's already punishment enough that you don't get to do the thing you signed up to do.
And most of these members have left in the past couple of weeks. There is something big going on here, and I don't understand how anyone can support management, and I don't really know how you can even work with Nijisanji, knowing this is...
At least they've been doing a good job casting doubt on their own capacity to manage. That much, I think, is without question.
Happening. And going back to everything, there's talks of not just management, but potentially livers being involved in some of this toxic work environment. It's very strange. We're not going to know the full details unless someone shares them, but there's a lot going on here, and the infamous legacy of Nijisanji's management is only getting worse.
Fast graduation. Oh, man.
It seems like we're reaching a boiling point where it's not just talk about doomsaying and that Nijisanji management is this and ruining the company. The stock has been down for a long time, and they're losing major talents every week. The concern towards their future is a very real one, and it's not being a doomsayer. And now the PR has never been worse. I have never seen a company this big with such a bad reputation. We've seen some smaller VTuber agencies get into some really bad situations, but nothing from an agency like Nijisanji. And what happens in the future, what happens in the next coming weeks and months, who knows, but expect something big, I would say. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed as
I mean, I would hope so. Come clear and develop a management structure, and then things can be all right. At least that's the sense I am getting. Again, I don't know if that's really what's going on, but they've not been doing the things that would make them look like they have a plan for how they do things. Maybe just think about how you would do things. And so you can stick to your guns, and then even like bad things can happen, and you don't have to graduate people, you know? You don't have to be resentful of somebody carrying the weight of management who isn't management. Like, hello? I do feel like that could be a part of the issue here.
As always, share all of your thoughts about the situation in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.
It was a good video. Everyone do check out twitch.tv/revuvu. Good guy. Always has, I mean, he had hot takes. I don't know. I like to think that I was a bit more thoughtful, but, you know, I think he did a good job there, so give him some love. Hit the bell. Not me, but hit the bell. Leave a comment, like, and share the video. Stay safe out there. Hope to meet you again.